That's why I asked, do you know what you're getting yourself into? You know Larry Hoover's a Mason. You know that, right? This is Jay-Z. Jay-Z has the spirit of Medusa. You know who Medusa is?
Medusa?
Medusa, yeah. You see the hairstyle that he wears with the braids, the big, long, thick braids and stuff? You see?
Yeah.
Okay, that is the worship of Medusa. Medusa.
Yo, face! Yo, your face, please! With sugar on top!
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, so if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, shout out to Ronnie Boule for this conversation. I feel this is actually dope because instead of someone like myself speaking on these organizations, and I'm not affiliated myself, he actually spoke to somebody by the name of Victor, who was not only a police officer, but an ex-Freemason who reached the 32nd level of Freemasonry before it ended within 13 years. So it's safe to say he's actually affiliated and have a lot of first-hand knowledge. He speaks on people like Jay-Z, Kanye, Snoop, Aaliyah and her mysterious passing, Diddy, all these people who are in certain positions and you wonder why. And the part where he speaks on Jay-Z is what really gravitated me to this conversation, because a lot of what he was speaking on pertaining to Jay-Z I knew about. However, he broke it down a little bit more to where I was actually intrigued. And when you guys realize how connected the spiritual realm is to the entertainment industry, it'll blow your mind. But I always tell y'all, we are an awareness page, so don't take my word for it. My job is to present it, and then once you get the information, you do your own due diligence and your research to come to your own conclusions, and you just take it from there. Now also, this man speaks on all these gangs that's being glorified, whether it's the Bloods, Crips, GDs, they all derived from Freemasonry, some way, somehow. And I know you probably like, how? And the way he breaks it down makes so much sense. And I feel like talks like this are so important because I always tell y'all that in order to know where you're going, you got to know where you come from. You have to have knowledge of self. This is why they're trying to erase a lot of our knowledge, because if you don't know where you come from, how would you know where you are going? If you don't know who you truly are and your purpose is in this realm, how would you know how to properly present yourself amongst others? How would you properly know what you was put here to do? And you may not see it as much, but when you don't know who you are and where you're going, it also plays on your mental. If you're constantly being told you are the lowest on your totem pole, it plays with your mental and you perform in such ways because you believe that you can't. But when you're constantly praised and held in a high regard, subconsciously you feel different. You act different, talk different, you look different. You even perform different because you vibrate different. And they know, but you don't. Now most people do things and commit crimes because they feel they have nothing to lose. Now just think how you would react if you felt as if you did have something to lose. You would operate totally different. Now if you base who you are off of what you're told, you're nothing compared to, what you're meant to be on this earth. And that's me keeping it very PG-13 for YouTube and their guidelines. But if you know, then you know. Anyway, here's a conversation between Ronnie Boule and Victor. I hope you guys take something from it. Y'all hop in the comments and let me know what y'all think about this after, you check this whole video out. It's pretty interesting. Check this out.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah, could
How
you?
are you?
I'm all good. How you doing?
I'm well, sir. Mr. Ronnie, I see that's your name, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you. My name is Victor.
Same here. I checked you out on YouTube too, man. I watched the whole 30-minute segment you had on there about
Freemason.
Yeah, Yeah, I see you said you was a former police officer as well.
Yeah. Yes, I was for many, many years. I was high-level 32nd degree Master Mason under Northern Jurisdiction here in the state of New Jersey for 13 years of my life. So I know exactly the language that you speak, and the answers that you're looking for are very difficult answers, but nothing's difficult under the power and grace of Jesus Christ. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm not here to sell you any religion. I'm just letting you know that I've seen your drive and your directness towards the Black Boule, and you need to be very, very careful when you do that.
Yeah, I've been, to be honest, my own mother and other people close to me, not just people close to me, but other people been telling me to be careful. But to be honest, I kind of took it all as a joke, you know, and that's just with me coming from the streets, and I'm somebody who had hits on my head in the streets. So when I hear things like that, it's just like whatever. But I do understand, and you know, I'm not taking it so lightly, you know, at this point. But you know, usually I have been taking it like whatever, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Now, can I ask you a question? How can I help you?
Well, you seem very informative, and I do a lot of research and study, but it's nothing like having somebody who experienced certain things, you know, themselves. You was a police officer. I researched it. You know, about 90% of police officers are Masons. You confirmed that, and you just seem very insightful. And my mission is, you know, a lot of people in my culture don't, you know, no offense, but they don't take stuff from people like you, being that you was a police officer, but they would take it from me, being that I've been to the feds, I got a criminal history, I talk how they talk, I got a tattoo on my face, so I look how they look, if you know where I'm getting at. So
Number one, I'm Puerto Rican, and I was a gang member before I became a cop.
yes, I'm not taking any of that from you. I'm just saying, like, just being, just the lifestyle that I live, you know, the way I talk, the way I communicate with my people is like, it resonates with them more. So with the insight that you have, you know, I could relate a message to a whole nother audience, you know what I'm saying, and you know, get the same message out that you've been trying to get out to a whole nother audience. You know, that's my intent, really.
Do you know anything about Freemasonry?
Well,
Be honest now. Were you a gang member?
I mean, yes, but
To be honest, I was a Lion King bloodline out of New York City.
okay, and
The same language that you speak, I speak the same language. I choose not to because I'm a 52-year-old man already.
yeah, I'm not taking anything from you, but to be honest, I grew up as a gangster disciple, a G.
Okay, so the disciples, yeah, folks, right?
Yeah, when I was in the feds, you know, I was on count with them, and you know, yeah, you know, they require you to know certain things. You know, I don't consider myself a member at this point in my life, but to answer your other questions, do I know anything about Freemasonry? I can't confirm that I know much. I did a little research and study, and I did read Morals and Dogma by Albert Pike in full, you know, while doing time in the Fed. So, you know, I have a little insight based on what he taught in his book, and just little research that I did from reading and studying over the years. But like nothing like it's nothing like having hands-on experience like you do. So
Okay, so how can I be of help to you? You know, Larry Hoover's a Mason. You know that, right?
You know, I heard. I can't confirm anything, but
Well, I'm confirming it now. He used to be a brother under Prince Hall. Okay? And that's why you guys have the 6-pointed star, which is not the Star of David, it's the King Star of Solomon, which he was a wizard. That's a wizard star. So your big homie is a wizard, just like I was a wizard at one point. That's why I asked, do you know what you're getting yourself into?
yeah, that's deep. And
I'm gonna tell you, and the Vice Lords too. They have a 5-pointed star. They bang people's nations, don't they?
yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, we used to bang people's nations too. The Lion Kings and the Black Cobras and all these jokers that came out of Chicago. Alright, so every single gang affiliate and gang nation has its roots into Freemasonry.
Yeah, that's deep. I was taught that, but like I said, I can't confirm anything that I don't know for sure. But you know, I take it from you. You know, you seem very knowledgeable, and you seem like you know exactly what you're talking about. So
Now, coming against Medusa, which is Jay-Z, Jay-Z has the spirit of Medusa. You know who Medusa is?
Medusa.
Medusa, yeah. You see the hairstyle that he wears with the braids, the big, long, thick braids and stuff? You see?
Yeah.
Okay, that is the worship of Medusa. Medusa was a Greek female god that wore snakes on her head, and that was a fallen angel. So he's a practitioner of sorcery. So when you come against these type of people, you better have Jesus wrapped around your toes, your head, every part of your body. We ain't talking about tattoos. We're not talking about bike stores. We're not talking about gangs of disciples. We're not even talking about fucking cops of masonry. We're talking about the highest levels of dark magic. That motherfucker come into your dream, snatch your soul, eat it in front of you, and send your ass to hell because you ain't got God with you. These are the type of people that this guy deals with. Okay, I'm just letting you know because I used to be a practitioner of voodoo. And that ain't nothing compared to what these people do. Like Puff Daddy. That's another practitioner of the Medusa system, which is the Moloch system. These people, they kill children. You know that, right? They murder children for Moloch.
I hear you, but you know, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm talking about being emboldened by the Holy Spirit himself. See, I didn't do this for money. I did this because God specifically said, if you expose them, I will protect you. You don't need a platform. If you need money, you come to me and I'll give you whatever needs you need. So it took me 8 years of going into seclusion in order for me to gather my thoughts and read all my books again. And then when it was time for me to come out in 2018, I put out the video. That video is almost 6 years old, sir. And I refuse platforms. Okay, I refuse people. I mean, I've had people put, hey, yo, man, I'll give you $1 million to come and do a sit down with me right now. I'm like, hell no, I'm not doing that unless God's in the middle of it. If God is not in it, I'm not going to be protected. So these are the type of people, and you know, unfortunately, R.Kelly got involved in it because he was a practitioner of the same system. Okay, these guys used to get into the Lolita Express and travel to Jeff Epstein's little island, right, to do some really nasty shit.
Now, I heard that. Now, you saying R.Kelly was also a part of that?
Of course, he had children in his basement, caged in his basement. Who the fuck is he fooling?
I mean, is that confirmed?
That is confirmed. Absolutely, it is confirmed. Or else he would never went to jail. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, you know, I was incarcerated with him for about 2 years, and I had some deep talks with him, and you know, he's actually charged.
He's not that stupid to tell you everything because he knows that those that, let me just put it this way, those that he knows that know exactly what I'm talking about right now, he can't divulge that information, bro. He's only going to give you some.
No, I'm pretty sure he. I mean, I could just tell by his demeanor that he held back a lot. But I'm just speaking about his case. You know, he wasn't actually charged with any of that. He was charged with basically like human trafficking. You know, sex trafficking.
Human trafficking, sex trafficking, it leads to all of that stuff that I just said right now. Okay, human trafficking, you basically making slaves of these young girls. Well, what happened to Aaliyah? Why do you think Aaliyah is dead now? Just think about it. She's from your neck of the woods, right? Is she from Chicago?
Yeah, I got indicted in Chicago, but I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Chicago is next door, and I got caught up in you know, traveling out there back and forth, and you know, the feds.
I understand, big bro. I understand, and I respect what you're doing. I really do. What I'm saying is, and look, for years I loved my boy R.Kelly's, you know, singing and you know, the R&B. Come on, man, we all did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Right? But you gotta understand that his sister used to rape him as a little boy. Did he tell you that too?
Of course not.
No,
I definitely heard. I definitely heard. I think he even wrote about it in his book.
In his book, in his autobiography, he put all that stuff out there. But one thing you'll never do, you'll never put Jay-Z and Puff Daddy and them out there because they're high-level Black Boule sorcerers. He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that. Now, there's only one way that you can bring these people down, and the only way you're going to bring them down, like you said, Psalms 23. Without Jesus, you can't do it, and everything is an appointed time. But now is the time for us to expose this person and the system. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is the time. And when that falls, it's going to be a domino effect. Boom, 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 right? Yeah. And when the domino lays and lands, those people are going to go down. You know? So, look, I just gave you a little bit of what I know. If you got any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer these questions for you. You know, I don't do this for money. I do this for integrity.
I feel you. Just two quick questions came to mind now. You know, I always been taught that all gangs, not just the GDs, Vice Lords, Latin Kings, but also the West Coast gangs, Crips and Bloods, had deep roots in Freemasonry.
Well, they all came from Chicago, ain't Chicago the motherland of all gangs?
Yeah, but what I don't understand is if people like Hoover or Larry Hoover are you know, tied in, and our government is basically governed by Freemasonry, and people even up, you know, higher up than they are, then why do they target people in like Larry Hoover, you know? And
Larry Hoover was created by the CIA back in the 60s. Just like the Black Panther Party was created by the CIA back in the late 50s, early 60s. Just like Martin Luther King used to hang out with Rustin, who was a homosexual, known homosexual, and Martin Luther King was never a Christian anyway. He was, he was a Buddhist, Marxist that loved to fuck white women. And he was a 33rd degree Master Mason. Come on, man. Give him to me. Give me that.
Yeah, I was also taught that, but like I said, I won't confirm anything that I don't know for sure. But now with regards to Diddy,
To the gangs of Bloods and Crips. Banging to the left, banging to the right. All right, you raise your right pants up and you leave your left pants down. That was big back in the 80s and 90s, but those all Masonic rituals in the first and second and third degree in the blue and red lodges.
absolutely, and I saw that you spoke upon that ritual and the segment that I watch on you. But with regards to my second question is, if Diddy is so high up, then why is all this recent controversy that looks like it's gonna put him where R.Kelly is? Why are they targeting him now? Like, did he break an oath or something?
Well, I mean, and not only an oath, I believe what you sow, you shall reap. What you reap, you shall sow. Okay? Now, they're going to use him as a sacrificial lamb because his behavior. Okay, at those levels of enlightenment, you got to conduct yourself in a way that is credible to your brothers, acceptable and credible to your brothers. And technically, the Black Boule are what they call the knights to protect the integrity of the 13 bloodline families, which are all fake Jews, white people. Right? For example, you got the Carnegies, you got the Rockefellers, you got the Kennedys, you got the Collins, you got the Lees, which are Chinese, but they're Boule members from the original families. So these families go back to the children of Cain, which is the son of Kal-El, which is Lucifer. See, Lucifer's name before the fall was Kal-El. He who has great power. That's what Kal-El means. And so when he fell and God kicked him out of heaven, right? God changed his name to Lucifer, right? Or the devil or Satan, LSD. Right? LSD was a drug, a hallucinogen that was given to our people, Spanish, black, doesn't matter, our minority people, back in the 60s to create a mental dysfunction called PTSD in your mind, to break your mind and destroy you. See, all these things have been orchestrated by the federal government because the federal government is in cahoots with the highest levels of sorcery that there is. To begin, another thing here too. Why do you think Kobe and his daughter were killed both at the same time?
No, that's very questionable, but I don't.
Well, Kobe was a sorcerer. He was a high-level Mason under Prince Hall, and he was putting some business out there that they told him not to put out. But since he was going to put out a book about his involvement in the Black Boule, that got him killed. Okay, because the Black Mamba is the snake system, which is the Baphomet system, but for black people, or the black gatekeepers. So you got black gatekeepers, right? You got my man, what's his name? He looked like a pimp out of New York City. I forget his name. I always get him. Every time there's a situation where our brothers, he comes out. Sharpton is a Black Boule member. Jesse Jackson is a high-level Mason Black Boule member, just like his predecessor, Martin. They were all for the same system, but they were all controlled by the Baphomet system, which is America, the CIA, the NSA. All these people are specifically chosen to do what they do. And God is exposing all that stuff now, which is great, because this is the season of exposure. Okay? You can't hide everything and anything without being revealed to the people after a while. See, Jay-Z is a practitioner of Aleister Crowley. Okay? And what Aleister Crowley used to do, he used to rape little boys anally, like a lot of these jokers do. Okay, not for sex, but for power. So he used to have power, and he would take the energy, he would take the innocence from these boys, and then in the process of him ejaculating, he would snap the necks and kill them. So in the process of him doing that, he would open up a portal, allow a demon to come through. Okay, and that practice is in the book of the book of the law by Aleister Crowley, the highest decorated Mason to ever walk the face of this planet. Actually, he was so powerful that he went up to the 99th degree in the Eastern Orient Freemasonry that people here don't even, and that's the dark Masonry. I mean, all masonry is dark, but this is really dark. This is like where you get into the black magic and the human sacrificing type of stuff. And so that's what these guys are involved in. Okay? I still believe to this day that poor Aaliyah was a sacrifice for Jay-Z, because Jay-Z was fucking her. Jay-Z's boy, what was his name?
Damn Dash.
And Dash was fucking her. Who else was fucking her? A whole bunch. R.Kelly was fucking her. She was a baby. She was what? When R.Kelly was fucking her, she was 15 years old. R.Kelly was in his what? 30s and shit? Or late 20s? Come on, man. You're not going to get away with murder. It's going to come back to you. Yeah. It's going to come back to you.
That's deep.
So, even my predecessors in the Land Kings, you know, King Tone was the one that used to run shit over here. King Blood was the guy that brought Kingism, which is Marxism, which is communism from Chicago. The Land Kings from Chicago, they brought it up to the East Coast. But Motherland came to New York City and said, well, we never gave you the green light for you to open up any chapters out here. And King Blood and King Tone stepped up and said, hey, listen, if you motherfuckers want to leave New York City alive, we're going to do what we're going to do here. You guys can go back to fucking Chicago and do what the fuck you want to do over there, because technically, without New York and its 5 boroughs and the 5 mafia families, your asses would never be on the scene anyway. Because Al Capone was a member of the Genovese crime family that was sent to Chicago back in the 20s when they were bootlegging. He used to bootleg with Kennedy and them, Kennedy Sr., and they were all Freemasons. In order for you to become a mobster and a made man, you have to take an oath. They were all Masons. That's all Freemasonry. Okay? So Chicago without New York City ain't no Chirac. It's over, it's done. I mean, you could go back and forth and we could argue the point, but I know I'm right, because New York City is the fatherland, it's the patriarch system of all gangs. It all came out of New York City and gradually spread out to the Midwest. And then, of course, lastly, it went out to LA, and those people over there are dinosaurs. They don't operate like Larry Hoover and a lot of the patriarch chiefs of those gangs in Chicago did. They don't operate like that. Why do you think Snoop Dogg every year, every March 3rd, he flies over to Chicago to pay respects to Larry Hoover? Because Crips are folks, and folks are Crips. Okay? It takes 2 Crips to make a folk. Because you guys bang the 6. They bang 3s. Right? So 3 times 2 is what? 6. So he has to come up with double the ransom to pay homage to Chief Larry Hoover every single year without questions, because without his existence, there's no Crips in California. 20s, 30s, 40s, 60s, whatever the fuck they call them now. They're all the same shit to me anyway. Or even Keystone Rangers. The original Keystone Rangers came out of Chicago and migrated to Oakland, California, which then they became the Keystone Bloods.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Okay? So I know about my gangs because I was a gang, and a lot of them jokers were my enemies. And then, of course, as a cop, I was a gang intelligence officer. And I spent a whole year working with the LA Sheriff's Department in their jail and their prison system, and I got to know a lot of the heavy hitters. Okay? As old as I am now, I'm a middle-aged man. I'll be 52 now. Chucky Williams I met before he died. And he told me himself in the state penitentiary, California State Penitentiary. Alright? Out of his mouth, he said, hey, I didn't want this. This was put on the table for me. Okay? And we started this as a system to protect our people. Okay? Later on, it became a double thing. That's what he said, a double thing. And he like, what do you mean? What the fuck do you mean a double thing? Well, you know, before Bloods, we were Crips, and that was brought here by the affiliates of Chief Larry Hoover. When he said that, I'm like, well, wait. So you telling me that prior of you becoming Crips, you guys had gangster disciples in California? Absolutely. They converted by twos because they weren't going to bang a 3, they were going to bang a 6. And so that's their mindset, which was Freemasonry. And most of them high-level guys are Freemasons or Prince Hall Masons. Okay? And the system that created that was the CIA. And the reason why is because they were calling our people predators, super predators. Okay? So, you know, sometimes the things that may look good for us is not good for us because they were created to destroy us. The whole system it needs to be destroyed. It can't be fixed. It's too deep, rooted in blood.
Okay, the last thing I want to get some insight from you about is, you know, when I first came out doing these interviews, it was really based on a world court petition that I filed against the United States government, and it ended up going viral because of statements that I made about myself being incarcerated with R.Kelly. So a lot of bloggers began, you know, picking up the story and you know, reaching out to interview me, and no, within months, I probably accumulated over, I'm gonna say 2-3 million views. You know, just a combined total of the interviews, and then I was like beginning to tour. You know, to do interviews in person, because most of my interviews was like virtual through Zoom, and then you know, I ended up getting shot, and everybody speculated that Jay-Z was somehow responsible. For me, I felt like that was far-fetched. Like I told you earlier, like I laughed about it or whatever, like whatever. But you know, people were saying, like a lot of the bloggers especially were saying, it's good for publicity. You know, you could sell books, you could sell records. You know, but I never thought that Jay-Z had anything to do with it, but now listening to what you're saying, you basically saying people like him are capable and willing to do something like that for what I'm doing.
It's powerful, bro. I gotta give it to him. He's powerful, but see, you don't fool somebody that's been in. Okay? So I wouldn't put it past him sending somebody to try to hurt you or take you out. I mean, I don't know a lot about you, Ronnie. You know, I respect the fact that you stood and said something. Other people take that shit to the grave because they're scared. See, you're not a scary dude. You're not a scary motherfucker. There's nothing scary about you. I'm just giving you some props. You feel me? But one thing that we, and I say myself because I'm always strapped to the fucking T. I love Christ, but if it's you before me, you go night-night. You're gonna go night-night. I'd rather be tried by 6 than carried by 12. You feel me? So, you need to be very careful and be very strategic when you do interviews. And when you do them because God is giving you the green light and he said, yeah, this is what I want you to do, and I got your back. I'm gonna give you all my backing. Don't worry about it. Spiritually, he can't touch you. The only way that Jay-Z and these guys could touch people if they're weak spiritually, meaning that they don't go to God, they don't fast, they don't pray. And hey, at times I'm like that too. But Ephesians 6 tells you how to put on an armor where the spiritual world can't mess with you because you're protected.
Yeah,
And then it becomes physical.
the breastplate of truth, the helmet of salvation, the shoes of the gospel of peace, the sword of the word, the shield of faith. Yeah, I'm familiar. You know, I don't consider myself a Christian, but I definitely study the teachings of Jesus, and I definitely try to follow that path. And you know, I do look at him as my Lord. So,
amen. So, hallelujah, right? Hallelujah is the word, the highest praise that you can give a living God, which is Jesus Christ. See, that name, Jesus, those 5 words, kill people. Okay? I'm going to tell you something about Jesus. Those 5 words could kill people. Could bring down mountains. Could take the power of a sorcerer and strap him so much and squeeze him so tightly that he ain't got no choice but to say uncle. And this is what we need to do as Christians. Okay? The word Christian came in the book of Romans back in the days of Antioch, where the Roman soldiers and the governor gave those that practice Christianity, named them Christians. Okay? God didn't tell Moses to tell his people be Christians. He told them to be holy like him, kept separate. That's what he told Moses. Tell my people to be holy like me. I'm your father. Okay? There's a lot of mysteries. There's a lot of truth that the system has hidden from our people. If our people knew how powerful we are, because we are the true Israelites, the system wouldn't do what they do to us, ever. Wouldn't even dare to do it. And the reason why God hasn't acted yet is because our people are too stupid and they lack knowledge. They don't go to God.
So what do you think about Kanye? Because he basically...
He's another Black Boule. He's crazy. He gave his mother up for a $20 million contract that Jay-Z gave him, but he had to give up his mother.
Wow.
Okay, his mother was a beautiful, bright black woman, man. She was, I think she had a doctorate's degree. She used to teach at Chicago University, something like that, Illinois University. I mean, that woman was, and she was a Christian too.
Wow.
So he set her up and got her murdered, and that's why he's all retarded now. Yeah, but he's a stunt dummy. He gonna get it if he doesn't. He's gonna get it. Regardless, he's gonna get it. Yeah, and the other one too. What was the other guy that played for the Boston, for the Brooklyn?
Kyrie.
Kyrie's gonna get it too. He gonna get it because when they had the chance to speak up for God, they didn't. Okay, those that call themselves Jews are not Jews in the synagogue of Satan. Them motherfuckers in Israel are not the real Jews of the Bible. We are.
Yeah, I think Jesus said that in the Revelations, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And we have the blessing. We have the seal of God in our foreheads already. See, we are blessed. Even though we're not rich, but we're blessed. We're blessed because we have God, and they don't. We have Him. We have eternity with God. Okay? When God left His body, which was His Son, I don't believe in the Holy Trinity. That body that hung on a tree and waited 6 hours was with his arms wide open to the world to receive all the sins of the world, and He didn't stop until He had the last sin. Once He received the last sin, He looked up and He said, "It's finished." And He died. The body died, and the spirit went down, took the keys from the devil, smacked him 3-4 times in the face, went across from Tartarus into the inner world, which was the Abraham's bosom, brought the gospel to our people, and they rose with Jesus on the third day. Now, when we die, we go straight to the Father. Go straight. We got power, bro. You know, Jay-Z can't do nothing to you, bro. You still laughing because God loves you. But Jay-Z got a day that's coming. He's going to get exposed. You're going to see it. I'm going to see it. Watch. He's going to get it. They're all going to get it. Puffy's going to be the first one. TD Snakes is going to be right after him, too. They're all going to get it. They're going to get it bad. And He's going to let the world see who these people are.
Hey, God definitely just spoke to me through you, because I feel encouraged. I feel inspired. You know, I feel protected, and I got a lot of insight from you, and I'm definitely gonna keep in touch with you.
Oh yeah, my brother, and I'm gonna pray before we leave here right now. But be very careful and use wisdom. Not everybody in your circle loves you. I'm just letting you know right now. People that you think they're your best friends, your big homies, like your best homies, they're not your friends. They're out to get you. You need to be careful. Don't let nobody in your house that you don't know, and don't let nobody around your kids. I'm letting you know right now.
Definitely take heed to that.
Okay? You're a good man. I feel it. And we gonna do some work together, bro. I did it for the love of people, for the love of God's true children. I don't do this just for anybody. I've turned down a lot of money, bro. I've had DJ Brad say, you want to do a thing on Freemason? I'm like, absolutely not. Not with no CIA member or a fake Jew.
Wow.
Because he's a CIA member and he's an Ashken Nazi Jew. And our brothers and sisters, they go there to tell them every fucking thing that they do. Dumbasses.
Wow, that's deep.
The dumb, man. Why you gonna go tell a known Berkeley graduate from Berkeley University in California? Come on, man. That's where they make all these people, to be informants, right? The guy's an informant for the FBI and the CIA, bro. Okay? And look what they're doing to Shook Knight. Shook Knight is a dumb-ass motherfucker talking shit over the phone on collect phone call. That's the dumbest motherfucker around. Right? No need for you to give up anybody. Why are you giving people up on collect phone calls? Well, why are you talking to the system on collect phone call?
Yeah, that's deep and very insightful.
I'm telling you, would you talk to somebody knowing that the system is basically recording everything you're saying from a collect line in prison? Would you do that? I don't think you're that dumb to do that.
No, but you know, I think he in a desperate situation and needs some money real bad. So you know, I don't know if he has any, you know, snitch intents, but I just think he desperate for, you know, attention and money right now.
Actually, who ran that whole system was Bantry, a Blood. I think he was a bounty hunter, Blood, I believe. I'm not sure. No, he was Pyru, I believe.
Yeah.
And pimps in red uniforms. Now, look at Snoop now. He's running with death row. Do you think Snoop is going to give up death row? No, because now it belongs to him, because he had to give up something. You got to give up something. Okay? You got to give up something to get something in that system. You know? So, and most of these guys that did this gangster stuff weren't gangsters anyway. Tupac was a homosexual anyway. Tupac was a baby Black Panther member that came from New York City that actually went to Maryland School of Arts that was there with Jada Pinkett. They all graduated from this art school. So they were actors already. But if you look at some past videos of Tupac, he was really Cesty.
I'm a huge Tupac fan, so
Listen, man, I was a Tupac fan too. Just put it out there, man. Just put it out there, bro. Let's put it out there. He didn't start doing that dumb shit until he became Bishop and Juice. Come on. Prior to that, he was carrying what? Crates for what's the name of that group? From Oakland. I forget.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know you talking about the ones who did the Humpty.
The Humpty Dump.
Yeah, I forgot the name of that group, but I know exactly who you talking about.
Yeah. So the leader of that group said, "Hey, we know who you are. You're Cesty. Now you're this multi-millionaire Blood. What the fuck? You know what I mean?" So he went out of he created the outlaw Blood gang in New Jersey, with Trench and a lot of them jokers are part of. You know what I'm saying? Well, Trench is a big homie because he went to California and got the status and took it back. But they ain't as tough as they think they are, bro. They're not. They're not. What's my man from Houston? Pimp C. Remember Pimp C?
Yeah.
He used to put shit out there left and right. What happened to Pimp C? They found him dead in a hotel room.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah, Pimp was a friend of a friend. Pimp and Ken is also from here in Milwaukee, and we became pretty close over the years. And him and Pimp C was like best friends, especially during the time of his death. So,
Right.
I'm definitely familiar with Pimp.
I like Pimp. He was cool as hell. But, he didn't have God with him, bro, to protect him. The same thing happened to, what's the name, Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston got into the drug game, and they found her dead in boiling hot water inside of a tub. That's a ritual. Like Clyde Davis and them.
Wow.
Clive Davis put a hit on her because he's a he's a Nazi Jew, and they run the show. They're the sorcerers. They're the ones they're the practitioners of Kabbalah, which is black magic. And so what they do is they use that black magic and that Jewish system, they call it Judaism, and they wrap themselves like, oh, we're God's people. No, you're not God's people, motherfuckers. Okay. Deuteronomy 28:68 tells you who were the true Jews that came here on slave ships. What the fuck are you talking about?
Wow.
Alright? Our people came here, they suffered. Our people came here, and I say our people because my great-grandmother's from Nigeria, Africa. I'm Puerto Rican. I was born in Puerto Rico. But on my father's side, on the patriotic side of my father, we are all Sephardic Jews. Real Jews. Not those fake Ashkenazi. The real Jews. I did all the homework myself. I went and I did my ancestry shit. I sent my blood type. It came back 90% from Spain, from the line of the Sephardic Jewish line. And 10%, of course, Taino Indian because I'm from Puerto Rico. Then I asked my father if he had any information on my great-grandfather. He said, yeah, we do. We used to be Jewish, but being that the Catholics were coming in, we had no choice but to convert into Catholicism and leave Judaism, the true Judaism alone. And we adopted names that were similar to the Hebrew, but only in Spanish. We're supposed to speak Spanish then. You know what I mean? So my great grandmother came from the western ivory coast of Africa, Nigeria. And she used to tell me stories when I was a kid in the mid-70s. I mean, I was born in 72, so around 77, 78, she was almost 80 years old, and she used to tell me stories. She used to speak Nigerian, and she said that our people came from Israel, that they left Israel in 70 AD when the Romans came to destroy them, and they migrated to the Horn of Africa, to the Golden Coast. And the only people that were there were the true Hebrews from the Southern Kingdom. Now the Northern Kingdom, they already had left the land. That was in the days of Solomon. Solomon is the poster child for all Freemasonry. He was the second sorcerer because technically the New World Order was created by Nimrod. Nimrod was I'm going to be honest, he was the first Mason. That's why Freemasonry, they loved Nimrod and the Tower of Babel, and he created it because of height, and he revered the stones versus the people that were falling off the damn tower. He didn't care about people dying off the tower, but it took one of those stones a year to get to the top. So what was more valuable to him, the stone versus the human? It's sick, man. This whole system is sick. You go to Washington, D.C., what do you see? You see Greco-America, you see Roman America, and you see Babylon America, all in threes. You see the phallus symbol, which is that tall stick figure that you see, made out of cement and concrete. That's the phallus worship, that's worship of penises. Everything has a symbol. That's why Masons are known for signs, numbers, and symbols. When I was going through the rituals, I had to learn how to speak Egyptian in hieroglyphics. I had to learn the language because we had to translate it into the English language. That way it wouldn't be infiltrated by other people. Right? So they would give us these hieroglyphic Egyptian books, and we had to decode them with the secretary of the lodge, and that's how we did our ritual. Yeah. It's deep, man. It's deep.
Yeah, I see.
Just be careful out there in Milwaukee, bro. You got any other questions? Give them to me.
You hit me with more than I can handle at once right now, so I gotta let this marinate in my mind first. But I'm definitely gonna keep in touch with you.
Yeah, and be careful over there. Don't let nobody in your house.
Thank you.
And watch the people around you. You say that your friends are not your friends, bro. You ain't got a motherfucking friend but God and your children and your significant others. So be careful. I'm letting you know out of love and respect. I never seen you. I never met you in my life. But the Spirit is telling me for you to be careful. And everything is done in God's timing.